So we got some Mizkif updates. Oh boy, it's been a while since we talked about Mizkif. I thought we were kind of done with him, except for the whole, lawsuit thing. But let's see what the updates are from Quinn Theo. It's been a while since I reacted to Quinn Theo also, since pretty much the Pirate Software saga.
Mizkif is kind of tweaking out right now on his social media. This video is going to...
Yeah, emphasis on tweaking, because I think that he is tweaking on amphetamines.
Be a cut down segment from my live stream where I went over this topic and went over some of the newer updates to the situation with Mizkif. I do want to be upfront right now though that this is not going to have as much content, as much new information that I typically have in videos like these. I'm saying this because I've kind of built myself up to be respectful of my viewers' time, but I recognize there's not as much content here as I usually have, and I'm just giving you a warning now. If you just want to see the clips that we're covering, I'm going to leave 2 timestamps down in my comment that's going to be pinned below. But with all that out of the way, hope you enjoy the video. So Mizkif is kind of back. He's been actually making posts. He's
What's with the milkman hat?
He's not really spoken about anything. He has recognized that he's kind of getting canceled right now, and he's being really weird. I'd say he's more like tweaking a little bit. I don't know if I'd really call it a crash out, so sorry for a bit of the clickbait, but he's doing really weird shit. So the first thing that I want to show you, he's posting on his Instagram, which is, all right, like clearly it's not where his main viewership is. But the first thing I want to show you guys is one that some...
There's a reason why he would post on Instagram where his main viewership isn't.
You guys probably already have seen. This is the first one. A lot of people had already seen this 4 days ago. He posted this.
Fuck you, motherfucker.
So
What the fuck was that? That was so weird.
Here's the thing. All right, we don't truly know. He doesn't explain why he posted this. He doesn't explain the context of it. I think you guys are intelligent enough. We've got a little bit of an understanding what context clues are. It's strange. I've heard that this is kind of a response to people getting canceled, or like they feel like everyone's like pushing it on them to kind of like go with it or something. This is my take, so take that with a grain of salt. From my understanding, based off what I'm seeing, he's playing into this victim idea where he's, being approached by the internet, right? And this person came up, spat on him, said, fuck you. And he's like, he doesn't even know why he's getting this hate, why he's getting shit on for this. Now, maybe he's doing that to be ironic. Given Mizkif's history, he's not really known for being really funny. He's known for being cringe funny. I doubt that he would ever do something like that unironically, or excuse me, ironically.
Yeah, he probably thinks this is super deep, and he actually thinks this is what's happening to him. I agree.
It really comes off as he thinks he's a victim in this situation.
Yep.
That he is a victim of these people coming out of nowhere and just trying to cancel him. This shouldn't have come out of nowhere, as he was found and admitted on his own stream after Emery put out her statements that he...
don't do bad shit. I don't know what else to say about it. That's the whole reason that this whole situation is happening to him, is because he's a bad person.
Spoke to one of her employees at TwitchCon and said if they ever spoke about shit that he was going to go nuclear. Matter of fact, in his statement, he clarified that
sounds like blackmail to me.
No, he didn't say he was going to destroy her like Emeru said, that he was going to go nuclear. If there was any signal for Emeru to get ahead of what was to come and to just get the information out, seeming that Mizkif was like trying to blackmail her or something like that, that would have been the time when he referenced that he would do something like this. I don't know. I think maybe he...
If you say bad shit about me that happened behind the scenes, then I'm going to say bad shit about you. Like, that's what it sounds like to me. Don't do bad shit behind the scenes.
Is just rage baiting, knowing that he needs to squeeze a few more views out before his viewership just fucking tanks after this. Asmongold also spoke about this. I'll include it in the full video, so here it is.
Everybody obviously wanted to talk about the lawsuit and everything. I'm honestly not really sure what's going on with that, and so I'm not going to comment on it right now. That's really about all I have to say. Like, I don't know enough about it right now to look into it or go into it at all. But yeah, it's literally just that simple. And because obviously it involves other people, I'm just not going to comment on it at this point. I mean, I will say this, that to the extent that I can talk about it, I will. And to the extent that I know what's going on, I will let people know if I can. But obviously, with something like that, it's very serious. And so I have to address it in a serious way. It's just the way it is.
He's not comfortable talking about it yet. He will talk
I'm glad that I finally saw an Asmongold take on this, because I haven't heard anything from Asmongold about the whole Mizkif lawsuit situation.
about what he's capable and able to talk about. But as of right now,
I figured he wasn't going to say anything. I figured that he was going to just keep his mouth completely shut and not even say that.
he has to treat it seriously. That also does kind of put a damper on what I believe to be, or maybe this will help. I'm going to attach another clip here. He had made reference to the fact that there was potentially another huge like story that was going to come out around Mizkif. There were 5 separate
There's probably going to be more than just one. There's probably going to be one big one and a bunch of little ones to follow it.
witnesses to the event that he was referencing. And the only reason that it hadn't come out yet is because those 5 different individuals were seeking legal counsel in preparation for coming forward with that story.
Damn.
And I will say too, I know people get mad at me for this. There are other stories of things that...
Yep, if you look up Mizkif on X, you'll see the rumors, which a bunch of the big rumors ended up being true. So, you know.
Will be points on the same graph making the same line. I said it last time. People got mad. They said I was vague posting. The story that I would tell you has 5 other witnesses. And again, I apologize for being vague, but just give it a couple of days. If you want me to be completely as transparent as I can be, it's because I want to make sure that these people have legal counsel before they say anything, because they're worried, because they don't have the position that Emmy or I do, and that's the reason. I would say it myself. I'm not going to do that.
That, I'm assuming, given that this lawsuit has started up with...
I wonder if it has anything to do with his ex before Emiru. What was her name? Was it Mia?
Asmongold referencing that might actually end up dissuading those people. They might chill, take a step back because they don't want to get into this mess. Or alternatively, this could give them the courage to actually come forward with it, because what are the odds that Mizkif is embroiled in a lawsuit and then chooses to take on another one at the same time? Admittedly, I don't know how the system works. Maybe they would end up delaying it so that it would come after that one. But if he gets absolutely fucking steamrolled in this first one, it's going to be weird. It's going to be tough for him to follow that up with trying to sue again. That's all banking on this story even coming to light. But I digress. So this came out...
You know, this whole situation sucks, but I'm kind of here for it, man. It's fun to watch all of these streamers suing each other over doing dumbass shit behind the scenes, really actual disgusting shit. It's just, you know, absolute cinema. I might as well go get me another bag of Cheez-Its or some popcorn or something.
A day ago, I'm assuming yesterday, and I'll just let it play. I don't even want...
That... Oh, hold on.
A day ago, I'm
Hold
assuming
on.
yesterday.
That looks like one of the gay prison mates in The Longest Yard.
And I'll just let it play. I don't even want to. It's so fucking loud. That's him just showing that he's getting a hair transplant. More specifically, I want to show you guys what he says at the very beginning. Let me try to refresh it.
Or being canceled.
Because he's super insecure. I'm going bald and I don't give a fuck, man.
Let's go get a hair transplant.
He says, day 4 of getting canceled. Let's go get a head transplant. And then it's this really fucking loud, obnoxious music. I don't know what the fuck he's doing. It's kind of like I don't give a fuck. I'm getting canceled. I'm just going to embrace it and then get viewership off the hate viewing. If I had to just make a guess, and again, I know I say this a lot, but I'm just some dude on the internet that's been watching drama and like doing it for a job for a little bit. So like truly, this is just my opinion. Mizkif comes off as a person who genuinely believes that they are correct. I originally, when I was first...
that's called narcissism and probably a little bit of psychopathy.
Kind of covering this stuff and looking at the 2022
Maybe a sociopath. He might be all the paths.
allegations. Also, check out Turkey Tom's video. He did a really good in-depth recovering all of that. I was planning to do that and he beat me to the punch. But he is a very well in-depth talking about the 2022 coverage. I'm less inclined to believe that Mizkif is this malicious person who's like going out of their way to be vindictive and everything. I think
he's just retarded and thinks that he's the king.
He's so narcissistic or so full of himself that he genuinely believes that what he's saying is true and sees the world in the frame of reference that he talks about. Obviously,
I think a lot of people around in that culture do the same thing, like Hassan Piker. I think a lot of those people just do that. Nina Lynn, you know,
Obviously, he has the ability to lie. He has the ability to make shit up. But I genuinely think that he thinks he is God's gift to streaming, to the world. And when he gets into moments like these, he thinks that this is the biggest middle finger to people, and he feels really good about this.
Yeah, he thinks it's punk rock, but it makes him look like a fucking crybaby who's just buying into the hate.
Like, he genuinely believes that he's going to come out of this on top, which, I mean, we don't know. We're not lawyers. We have no idea, but I think he's just reveling in it. I think he just enjoys being in this position where he believes he's right, and he thinks...
And he's going to have to stay in that position forever now. And you know what that makes him? It makes him a lol cow. Whenever people just go to his content to make fun of him, and then he buys into it. That's all that he's ever going to be. That's the only audience that he's ever going to have now.
Everyone else is wrong and stupid and below him. I'm not a psychologist. I have no basis for that other than watching his behavior and just like, I'm a people person. Take that for what it is. But it's just, it really rubs people the wrong way and it gets people to watch. That's been his whole thing with being the streamer that he is. He connects.
Yeah, I don't think he knows what to do. I think he's falling apart.
People, and he's really cringy, and he gets clip farmed the ever-loving fuck out of in every stream because of how he acted. And for the longest time, like, I'll pull up a clip for the video that I'm going over with this, of when he was interacting with Cinna.
I'll go. No, I don't. I actually don't want you to go. My grandma would kill me if I brought you.
Why, 'cause I'm white?
No, it's because you're like a fucking psychopath.
She said it herself, man. You got that right.
I don't need to be psycho.
Miz, when you're normal, even at parties, you stand around like this with a drink, and then you walk up to people and you're like, you know, I wouldn't talk to you if your viewership wasn't as high, you know? Like, that's literally what you do all the fucking time. You bring up viewership even at parties. You're so annoying. You're so annoying.
Chat, because these people aren't real, dude. I don't take any of you seriously because you're not...
You're a fucking ego asshole.
Because I don't take any of you seriously because you're not actually my friends.
You literally bitch. You're so annoying.
What's the point of taking you all
so
seriously?
fucking
I don't
annoying.
care about you, any of you.
Can you play the song, please? Because you're gonna make me cry.
Because they're all basically coworkers. I mean, I see where he's coming from. He is kind of right. But he is one of those people also.
All of you to me are just, you know what you are? You're all just numbers.
Up until now.
And so is he. Like, all that he's focused on is views. He's just numbers.
One has looked at all of these little crash outs and little clips and going, oh, it's a character, they're being funny, like there's a little bit of truth, but like
it's his character. He just kind of exaggerates it a little bit.
It's for the show. Versus now we're looking at all of this in its entirety, this magnum opus of Mizkif, and knowing the context that this is how he acts behind closed doors, and finding out that all of those cringe clips that we thought were maybe a bit theatrical, maybe a bit, you know, put on for show, are him just being genuine. And he actually believes these things, and it's mind-blowing. I prefer remaining objective with this kind of stuff, and Mizkif, like, I'm not a psychologist. I'm never gonna be able to diagnose someone that I watch with like NPD. I love psychology. It was my goal to do that before if I was going to college. I didn't end up doing it, but like I can't say any of that with sincerity. I would need someone who actually is, you know, familiar with that stuff to even look at this. And you could never guess, because no one ever usually shows themselves for who they are on screen or on social media. But kind of in tandem with...
I kind of do. I don't really hold anything back, but I pretty much don't do anything, so it's not hard for that to come across on screen.
With the Mizkif stuff, of course, Emaru is completely intertwined with all of this, and we actually got an update from Twitch in regard to Emaru and her assault that took place at TwitchCon. For those who don't know, need a refresher, she got attacked at her TwitchCon meet and greet that she needed to do so that she could host her own show while she was at TwitchCon, and a man just crossed over multiple barriers, no security stopping him, grabbed her, tried to kiss her, and the only guy that stopped her was her own personal security that she had brought. The second bodyguard that she had brought, the first one being barred from entering any TwitchCon because he did his job a year prior. He stopped someone, held them in place, didn't even like physically assault them or anything, just held them in place. And her original...
Probably because something was actually being done, and they can't have that. They want bad things to happen.
Guard was
That's why they were, you know, they had to ramp up security, but they were also selling knives at TwitchCon. Like, get fucking real, dude. What are you doing?
All of this ends up happening. Twitch,
by the way, I think it's because they're taking funny money from terrorist organizations, and I'm not talking about just Muslim ones. I'm talking about leftoid ones. I'm talking about ones in America. I think Democrats are a terrorist organization.
God, it was like a Watch Mojo top 10 of the worst reactions and follow-ups to someone getting assaulted at your event. They just kind of were like, eh. And Dan Clancy, the, owner, CEO of Twitch, effectively said, yeah, you can ban those people from your chat. You can kind of ignore them. But what can you do? We can only do
but you can't ban them from other people's chats.
our best. They also said that they were like the cream of the crop of
And if somebody's talking about you, somebody's talking bad about you, you can't really stop those people and their chats.
security and safety, which I don't remember anyone claiming they were. A bit late, I would say. They have tried to rectify the situation, and they've done so by maybe apologizing a bit more and donating money, putting money on the problem to try to make it go away. This is from
Yep, and Emiru was the one who signed off on it. Like, come on, man. She shouldn't have got herself involved in this. Nobody likes Twitch. This doesn't... The timing of it was not good with the whole Nina Lynn situation. It was just really bad.
which Dan Clancy ends up replying to it. We wanted to follow up on the post we recently made about a security incident at TwitchCon San Diego. As many of you know, at the 2025 TwitchCon San Diego event, one of our valued creators, Emiru, was assaulted by an attendee during a meet and greet event. Although Twitch works very hard to try to keep TwitchCon's attendees safe and to prevent incidents like this from happening, we failed to do both things in this case, to keep Emiru safe and to prevent the assault from happening. We deeply regret the distress we caused for Emiru, our other creators, and the entire community. In recognition of Emiru's advocacy, Twitch will be making a donation to support nonprofit organizations working to prevent sexual violence. More details on that to follow soon. What if they use that money that they're donating to this nonprofit and invested it into firing and hiring new security and safety for their own company? I don't think
Because that would actually mean they'd have to do something. It's easy just to pay $100,000 to a charity organization.
anyone's worried about some nonprofit organizations that are that are working to prevent that. How about you work to prevent it? How about you keep your creators safe? That would be sick. That would be cool. It's the most blatant.
And Emiru kind of was just like, all right, here you go. Twitch has made it better because they prevented me from possibly being SA'd in the future. And I'm all that matters, without thinking about everybody else that had issues. All of the other issues that wasn't this whole Emiru situation. Like, what about that? What about the VTubers situation? Nothing from all of that. Okay.
We have money we give to charity. We're good now, right? We gave money to people that might be getting assaulted. Okay, well, funnily enough, you're not going to believe this. There was a community note added to this bad boy. Twitch has lied on several occasions regarding the incident, letting the assailant go after the attack and withholding evidence from authorities. This is incompetence. Dan Clancy called Emiru a friend, despite going on to victim blame her, and he was out partying during all this. He ended up he replied on this tweet, which, believe it or not, Dan Clancy also got community noted. Twitch failed in our response to the assault of Emiru at 2025 TwitchCon San Diego, and I don't know why he needs to specify the year. Sorry. And in particular, I failed to communicate clearly in talking about the incident afterwards during an interview. I do not believe, and in no way intended to suggest, that Emiru had any responsibility whatsoever for the incident at TwitchCon. Here's the clip of him saying and essentially victim blaming Emiru for having this person come to her.
The safety of our creators is the top priority. The challenge we face is a challenge in today's society. It's not limited to Twitch. It extends throughout our society. I do think that when you're live streaming, in many ways, since you control your community and you can ban people, you can make it so
yeah, he's acting like that guy was a part of Emiru's community and that she should have done something about it. That's exactly what he was saying there. He probably didn't mean it that way, but that is what he said. And it would have just been better if he just didn't talk to this lady, because she's fucking retarded. But if he just would have shut the fuck up about this whole thing in the first place.
that those people that you don't want engaging with you and participating with you aren't there. Okay, it's very different. When I use other short form content and people say all sorts of stuff, well, I can't stop that. But when I live stream, they basically don't bother me. Now, what happened yesterday obviously was something that we care deeply about.
I have a great deal of empathy for what creators such as Emiru have to deal with
Empathy! That iDubbbz empathy.
every day. I was trying to express that. and I did that poorly. I'm sorry I let you down, Emaru, and I am so sorry Twitch let you down. We appreciate all that you have done over the years on Twitch, and we are committed to continuing to improve our TwitchCon security, processes, and communications so that we can show up better for you and all of our creators moving forward. Twitch lied
Yep, and they posted this right after Nina Lynn got unbanned.
multiple times about the incident, letting the assailants go and withholding evidence from authorities. Dan Clancy partied while victim blaming Emaru, whom he called a friend. Nina Lynn was banned, then quietly unbanned a week later. So this is the most textbook. If you're ever wondering, our class
Yeah, this is the corporate PR bullshit.
of soon-to-be prospective owners of companies that deal with public-facing employees like content creators. This is what damage control looks like, and it's what it looks like when it's a little too late. I'm kind of baffled that they followed up in this manner so long after the fact, and that during this, they're allowing a streamer, this woman sexually assaulted a man on stream, got called out for it, got banned for a week. That brings that live stream segment to a close. If you were interested to hear about that Nina Lynn story, I actually have that video coming out the following day after this upload. So if
Yep, nah, Nina Lynn. Oh, yep, she needs to be banned. Mizkif needs to probably take a break from the internet at the very least. But, like, he's just going to forever be a lol cow if he doesn't do something. He's going to have to back down. He's going to have to apologize. He's going to have to change. And I just don't think that he's going to do that because he's like Hassan. He doesn't want to admit fault. He doesn't want to admit he's wrong. Everybody else is wrong except for him, which, by the way, can happen. Sometimes you can be right and every single person on the planet be wrong. But not in this case.